Good morning, everyone. This is Seth David, and this is our webcast for Wednesday, October 15th, 2008. Last Friday and Monday, I did a little promotional thing, and I invited people to send emails with "I love nerds" in the subject, and in exchange I offered a free hour of software training to the first person who emailed, and a free set of pens to the first 3 people who emailed. I also invited people to offer suggestions about why they thought I was doing this besides the obvious. And the obvious reasons, of course, are to promote my business, to have people try out my software training for free and see what it's like. And my expectation, of course, is that after a free hour, people will be happy enough to want either more time on a paid basis or, for that matter, to refer people to me and say, hey, this guy actually knows what he's talking about. So I offered that for those obvious reasons, but the less obvious reason I did it was because, frankly, I wanted to get a feel for how many people were watching these webcasts. So based on the number of emails that came in, I now have an indication of how many people are watching this webcast. So it's been helpful for me, and hopefully it's been helpful for you, because now if any of you out there are trying to think in terms of marketing ideas and concepts, hopefully that helps. A lot of times you can give away something for free that doesn't cost you much to give away, and at the same time in exchange what you get for it is valuable information. And sure enough, I did get valuable information, because I saw the response on a Friday and I saw the response on a Monday. And I'll probably do it again soon on a Wednesday. But for now I want to get back into the usual tips. And today's tip is going to be on Excel. So let's go right into the sharing portion of our webcast and go to a full screen view. And then I have to offer to share my computer screen. And here we are in a Microsoft Excel Office 2007 view. And I may as well, while I'm at it, go over a little bit on some of the changes from 2003 to 2007. For those of you who've been following along, you'll see that the top of this looks very different. If you've seen some of my webcasts on Excel, this is all I've been using, so you've already probably noticed that there are some differences here. And the key difference is, of course, is what's here on top. You have these, this ribbon is what they call it here, that gives you a lot of the stuff that used to be within the menus right up here at a glance. It's similar somewhat to where you'd have the buttons that you could set up the standard toolbars and the formatting toolbar and so on and so forth. But this is a little bigger, as you can see, and provides you with some more options. So that's the key difference, and all the same stuff that was available in 2003 is available here. The difficulty, of course, in transitioning from 2003 to 2007 is in figuring out where to go to find this stuff. And what you have that wasn't there before, instead of the menu items where you had File, Edit, View, and so on across the line, you have these different tabs. So the Home tab gives you what they figure are the most common things that people use when they're working in Excel. It gives you your copy and paste, it gives you your formatting features, and it gives you some additional stuff that wasn't there in terms of these cell styles here. So these are typical cell styles that are frequently used when you're designing spreadsheets. And a lot of the conventions that are used in classic financial modeling are sort of described here, where you have the colors describing where a cell is asking for input, as opposed to a cell that gives you output, and so on and so forth. So a lot of this stuff is here at your fingertips, whereas in the previous version in 2003 or prior, you would have had to do a little work to to accomplish this formatting. And not that it would have been so much work. And of course, that option is still there. Incidentally, they recognize that a lot of people are familiar now with the keyboard shortcuts that we used to use in 2003. So those same keyboard shortcuts still work here. For the most part, you may have to hit an extra key here and there, because you'll see that it'll prompt you to be sure that you're trying to use the 2003 keyboard shortcuts when you're trying to do something. I'll give you a couple quick examples. If I'm trying to highlight an entire row, a Shift spacebar will still highlight the entire row. If I want to highlight an entire column, a Control and a spacebar will still do that. For that matter, if I wanted to delete a row, and let's say I had something to delete, a Shift and a spacebar again deletes the entire row, and I can still hold down my Alt key and press E, which was the old way to activate the Edit menu, and then I hit a D for delete. And sure enough, it deletes the entire row. So those keyboard shortcuts are still there and still available for your use. As always, we offer lots of more great information on all these applications: Microsoft Excel, QuickBooks, Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint, and lots of other stuff. So feel free to visit us on our Learning Center at www.nerdenterprises.com and visit that Learning Center and see what classes we have available. And of course, through that you can schedule an online private training with us, and we can arrange that with you. The pricing is about to come up here on the screen. The pre-recorded classes are basically $25, and they range in duration from anywhere from 1 hour to 2 hours or a little more. There's one pre-recorded webinar on there, which was our first financial freedom webinar that we recorded, and it was a tremendous success. We actually went over in 3 hours how to design a monthly profit and loss in QuickBooks and export that into Excel, and then use that to develop projections for a sample company. So it's pretty powerful information. I showed people how to write simple formulas. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know how to do this stuff. All you really need to understand is basic arithmetic, addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And we go over how to write simple formulas to accumulate totals in the right places and roll things forward into the future so you can project what you think your income and expenses are going to be, and ultimately from that information determine what you can expect to have in the bank at the end of a specified period of time. And then of course we have our live online trainings, which are $85 an hour for a private training, and then if it's 2 or more people it's $50 per hour per person, and then 10 or more people it drops to $25 per hour per person. And look, the sun is now shining down in on me. Look at that. So visit us online. You can click this green underscored text. It's a live hyperlink. It'll take you directly into the Learning Center within our website. I hope everybody's having a great week, and look for another great webcast from us on Friday.